Yes, sir. We're in Miami, guys, and we got the Lexus Lc500. Let's check it out. All right, so starting in the front is this massive grille so that all that air can just go right in to the massive 5-liter V8 engine that they give up in the front. This engine right here produces 471 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque, all on a 10-speed automatic transmission. And 0 to 60 in this, surprisingly, is 4.7 seconds, which is not that fast. So let's go to the back to see how it sounds. Rear of the LC500, obviously you have this beautiful exterior design back here. But also, here, let me show you. You get this really small bit of space. It's not really that deep, not really that wide. And then on top of that, if you come even closer, you have a space for the jack. And then, of course, this is where the battery goes. So no spare tire. All right, so now we come to the portion where we go to the inside of the car. And check this out. Check this handle. You push in. And check this out. So come a little closer. So as you can see, it's an awesome dash, a beautiful design, and like I said, inside and out, just exquisite. So you have this nice, beautiful mixture of leather and suede. The nice color contrasting and all that stuff. You have the sunroof that doesn't open up. It's just a glass. Heads-up display. You get lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring. And, of course, you have this old Lexus system that they had. No Apple CarPlay, which sucks. But you could still appreciate the interior because it's just so beautiful out here. And let's just show you the back real quick, because there's no reason why there should be a back seat in the first place in there. But let's just do it. All right, so guys, this is the rear. And just before I even go in there, look at what I'm going to have to deal with. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but let's do it. All right, so. All right, look at this. My head is touching the glass. All right, and then let's just, I don't know how I'm supposed to be comfortable back here. You know what I mean? Come on, Lexus, you shouldn't even put a back seat. You shouldn't have even put a back seat. You gotta get me getting out? Ah! So, in Miami, in the Lexus Lc500, and I gotta admit, man, this car, I had some fun with it. I had some fun. Definitely, it's a definitely different kind of Lexus, you know? Because when you think of Lexus, you think of, you know, soft, comfortable, luxury, you know, slow. That's what you think of Lexus. But this is a completely different type of Lexus, you know, and this is not to be confused with the Lexus LFA. The Lexus LFA is a completely different kind of car. That's a supercar right there. This is the LC500. So it's not as powerful as the LFA. It's not as loud as the LFA, and it's not as expensive. The LFA, when that came out, it was $400,000. This, when it came out a couple years ago, this was only $93,000. And shoot, for all the things that you get in here for 93 grand, this is exquisite stuff. Any complaints? A couple. One of my major problems with Lexuses is that the infotainment system is so complicated to use. It's super annoying. And then I'll actually show a little clip of how to do just regular things, like setting the air conditioned seats or the heated seats. It's overly complicated, and then on top of that, it's not even really user friendly or tech friendly, because it's technically a retired old person's kind of car. And by that I mean this is a 2020 and it doesn't even have Apple CarPlay. So driving the Lexus Lc500, right now we're in comfort mode and just cruising on the streets of Miami, and it's actually not that bad. It's pretty comfortable. The seats is pretty comfortable. I have plenty of space. I had somebody in here earlier and they had plenty of space. We weren't locking or touching arms or anything like that. It's a very spacious car. This thing has a pretty nice party piece. Take a listen. Put it in manual mode. That's its party piece right there, and that's what you buy this thing for, you know. And like I said, it's not the LFA where it's screaming V10 loud. Well, it's a V8, but gosh, man. And that's what you gotta love about Lexus, you know. Lexus, they're good at making cars that sound good, and it's unexpected sound good. You know what I mean? It's like one of those kind of cars where it's like you look at it and it's like, okay, it might not even sound all that great, and then you hear it and it's like, wow. And it's crazy, you know. It's a 5-liter V8, and it's not the same 5-liter that you get in the Mustangs. It's a completely different V8. And same for the transmission. It's not the same 10-speed transmission that you get in the Mustang. Matter of fact, the 10-speed on this is a lot better than the 10-speed in the Mustang, because when you're in comfort mode in a Mustang, driving like that, you know, in this it's comfortable, it's relaxing, and that's what you get when you drive it. It's relaxing. Until you do that. So a few other things that I do like about the interior of this of the Lexus is that your gauge cluster here, it's a mixture of a digital gauge cluster and an actual physical gauge cluster. I can actually move everything to the side, and it's actually pretty cool. But that's just a gimmick, you know, and this car does have a lot of gimmicks, but not really a lot of tech, which is kind of the problem. If I'm gonna be honest, there are a couple things that reminds me of the LFA in this. I'm gonna be honest. The exhaust. That's about it. The Lexus LFA, when it came out, it wasn't the fastest car in the world. It wasn't the most, you know, the best looking car in the world. It was just a display of what Lexus can do. that's kind of what I'm getting with this. As I start to drive it a little bit more, I start to really understand why it was built. What was its purpose and stuff. It wasn't meant to go on a drag strip and be the fastest quarter-mile time or anything like that. It was just made to just drive and enjoy. You know, the Lexus LFA, that one was made to be a GT car. It was made to just go out on the road and just drive it and enjoy it. And this, I'm getting that same kind of feel. I never got to drive the Lexus LFA, but for the purpose for what that was built for and what this is built for, I can't even lie. I'm starting to like this car a little bit. Oh! I gotta do it again. I gotta go to the... Oh! Ah! Oh, what a sound! The LFA sounds out of this world. Probably the best sounding car in the world. And then this sounds incredible. So, the Lexus Lc500. Big shout out to Coops and Collins and also my boy for helping me get this all set up and getting the car and everything. And see you in the next video.